Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome.
Now, there is an adage that states that if a man throws the only spear he has at you, that means he does not fear you. Now, we are getting a report right now that Ooni of Ife went ballistic with Ebony over the fact that Ebony was so infuriated about their trip to the UK. Now, you do know that because Reverend Esther Ajay visited Abuja for, the program that she tagged the Comforter 2024, Ooni of Ife was right there in Abuja. Olori Naomi went to Abuja. They said Ebony also went to Abuja because she wanted to meet with them so that she can foster some kind of reconciliation. They said that was the reason why she went to Abuja. And then, unfortunately, that reconciliation did not go well. That is not because Reverend Esther Jai did not want to do it, but Nami was, unwilling. Like unwilling. She does not want to have anything to do with Ebony. And you do know that Ooni of Ife does not want to force Naomi. He wants Naomi to do whatever Naomi feels is in her best interest, okay? And so after all of that, Oni had to go to the UK. They said he had an urgent meeting to attend in the UK, and so he had to go. Now, Oni had traveled with his private jet, and this time Oni went with Dr. Elizabeth. Now, from the report that we have been hearing, Dr. Elizabeth is somebody who has got phobia for flight. So, and that is the reason why she hardly travels. But when Kabiyesi is traveling, she has confidence. And Kabiyesi will want to travel with Dr. Elizabeth to help her change environment. And so Kabiyesi traveled with Dr. Elizabeth. You recall that Ebony stays in the UK. Like most often than not, this woman is always in the UK. She does her business. She is an accountant in a reputable firm in the UK. At least that is what we know, okay? I've told you time and time again that these are all alleged, rumored, speculated informations, okay? Making the rounds on social media. These are not first-hand information. And, I will say to my lovely Dela Wrights that whatever you see on social media, you want to take it with a pinch of salt, okay? And so now, as we are hearing what is going on right now, we have that Ebony was slated also to go to the UK, return back to the UK because her trip was urgent. She had come back to Nigeria because they kept putting this fagbole scam drama on her. Fingers were pointed at her and all of that. So she had to run back to Nigeria to clear herself. And also she used that opportunity to try and talk to Olori Naomi and meet with Reverend Esther Ajay and all of that. But unfortunately, her trip was exercised in futility because they said everything did not work as we had. So Ooni of Ife, according to what Ebony is saying, they said Ooni of Ife knew that Ebony was going back to the UK and Ooni of Ife was headed to the UK. Now, one would have thought that they would fly together, like Ebony, Ooni of Ife, even if Ooni of Ife was going with Dr. Elizabeth. But they said no, they didn't fly together. That Ooni of Ife flew with Dr. Elizabeth to UK. Ebony used, of course, the public flight that we know, first class, back to the UK. Upon reaching the UK, she found out that Ebony and Ooni of Ife and Ebony had gotten to UK. And that really infuriated her. Like she did not know what to do. That she was so infuriated, such that the way she talked to Ooni of Ife did not like it liked it at all. They said the monarch went ballistic at Ebony. If the monarch went seriously ballistic at Ebony, that the entire time Ebony was just crying that she does not know how long she can take this again. that she is completely exhausted. Like she is exhausted. She doesn't know what to do with this. She doesn't know how to take this. She doesn't know how to deal with this. That it is so much, it's so overwhelming that every day you're either begging for a man's love, or you are either begging for a man to even smile at you. You're either begging for a man to call you, or call the man to even call the man. You don't know what time to call the man that is okay. That what is it in this world that she has done that is so bad that will make Kabiyesi treat her like this? That Kabiyesi has forgotten how far they have come, how when they started their relationship, everything that they have shared together. Kabiyesi seemed to have forgotten that what has happened. They say right now, Ebony is in that place where she's thinking as though somebody is using something to turn Kabiyesi's heart away from her. Somebody is using something to make sure Kabiyesi stop loving her. Somebody is using something to ensure that she does not continue to enjoy the things she is enjoying with Kabiyesi. That somebody is obviously doing something. They say she cried so much that what on earth has she done to Kabiyesi? Because she has been, kind of begging the entire time. That was the same reason why this will be the third time that she has come to the UK, Nigeria. Now, you do know that Ebony is this woman who would always come to Nigeria. Remember when Naomi was in the palace? Ebony was always in the palace. We see them in events together. We see them do stuff together and all of that. Then shortly after the marriage, Ebony was always in the palace. Yes, Ebony was always in the palace, doing her stuff with her husband and all of that. But everything just changed all of a sudden. Ebony will go to London and stay for 6 months. At some point, I think some people advise her that one thing that will solve this problem for her is for her to come back home and be close to her husband. And they said when she communicated this to the Ooni of Ife, they said the Ooni of Ife went ahead and told her that, look, this is not necessary. You don't need to return back to the palace for anything. You do not need to return back to the palace for anything. Should you want to come back to the palace, you're coming back on your own. Stay where you are and face your job. They said that was what Ooni of Ife said to her. So right now, when she found out that Ooni of Ife had reached UK with Dr. Elizabeth, even when they knew that she was headed towards UK or to UK, they said she felt so bad. The way she felt was the way she expressed herself before the Ooni of Ife, who was said to have gone ballistic with Ebony, telling Ebony that he owes Ebony nothing. That the last time he checked, he was king. He is the Ooni of Ife, the Arole Oduduwa, and is going to stay that way. That he is not in every place to give Ebony any explanation as to how he got to UK or how he did not get to UK, or as to why he made the decision to go with Dr. Elizabeth rather than her. That he is not in any position to do that for Ebony. Ebony should take things the way that she has seen things. They say Ebony could not take it, that Ebony cried and cried and cried the entire time. That it was such a very sad situation for Ebony, as we are hearing. And this is why we keep saying to people, look, whatever, you have no control over what does not belong to you. There are so many men on earth. The word of God says there are 7,000 men that have not bowed down to Baal. There are still good men in this war. Look for your own. Look for your own. Stop struggling. Don't go and carry yourself and go and use yourself to solve problems for couples. Because nobody would have thought that Ooni of Ife would be in this disposition with Olori Naomi at this time. The truth remains that whether people like it or not, Ooni of Ife loved Queen Naomi. And this man will continue to love Queen Naomi. And all of those women who want to come in, they will continue to see what these women are seeing. At the end of the day now, who is laughing last and who is laughing first? Who owns the crown? It's Olori Naomi, because the crown belongs to the person whose heart belongs to the Ooni, or whose Ooni's heart belongs to, and that person happens to be Naomi. They said it's not a small thing, as I am hearing. I'm going to bring you more update. I appreciate you guys so much, and I love you. Thank you for being